तद्धित प्रकरणं तस्य भावस्त्वतलौ इति प्रकरणं प्रथमतः मङ्गलाचरणं. Today is Jan 18th, Wednesday. We are doing the Tadhita Prakaranam. So let's do Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Bhyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bhorama Mamuddhara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti. Atha Shri Maheshwara Sutrani I Urn Rulruk E Ong I Ouch Hayavarat Lan Nyamanga Nam Jabai Garadash Jabagardadash Jabagardadash Kapa Charta Charta Tau Kapai Sha Sarhal Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. Okay. So last time we started this prakaranam about Tasya Bhavastvatalau. So that is 51119, means thatness, the intrinsic property of that, the special property of that, the characteristic attribute of thatness in English, we can say roughly speaking. And that adhikaraha goes up to the end of Apada Samaptehe, up to 51136. And in between there comes the sutram, which is Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmanicha. So from here on, from 51124, Karmani also starts from there. So it's not Subhavaha is, as we said, the state, the nature of that. But Karmani means also the work or the duty or the occupation of or the activity of that. So that's that. So from 124, the pratyaya which will be prescribed will be not only in the nature of that, but also in the karma means the activities, the occupation, the duty, activities of that. So that will be from 124 onwards. Okay. Now first let's start with a couple of corrections from last time. I think I had made a couple of typos. One was a typo, one was the outright Pramadaha Khamyatam. Okay, the Vartikam Chaturvarnyadinam Swarthi Upasankyanam. I think I had a typo there. I think I had Chaturvarnyadibhya. I think I had that. That's not Chaturvarnyadinam Swarthi Upasankyanam. This is a Vartikam under the Sutram, which is Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmanicha. So what happens is that this is a Pratyaya Shain is coming down from the prior Sutram. Varna Dridhadibhya Shaincha. So the Shain can come Swarthe Artha Parivartanam Mina in the same meaning without changing the meaning. In the case of some words, in which we saw the famous expression which is Saukhyam Va. So Saukhyam Va is in this comes under this Vartikam. So the Vartikam is phrased slightly differently in Kashika and in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. When it's Chatur Varnyadinam Swarthi Upasankyanam, I think that's the Kashika wording, and the Siddhanta Kaumudi is Chaturvarnadinam Swarthi Upasankyanam. So basically Chaturvarna, etc. These words take the Pratyaya Shain in their own meaning. Swarthe means without their own convey any other special meaning. Swarthe means that without conveying any special changing meaning, they take the meaning. So Chatva, this comes in Gita also, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, Chatvaraha Eva Varnaha Chaturvarnyam. The four Varnas together are called Chaturvarnyam. So that was one typo. I think I had here Bhya or something over here. Chaturvarnyadinam, these are the final products. This is the final form of the word Chaturvarnyam. Chaturvarna is the Prakriti. So Siddhanta Kaumudi is put like this, Chaturvarnadinam Swarthi Upasankyanam. I think Kashika has it like this. Either way, it should be either this or this. I think last time I had something wrong. Now one thing I made a mistake last time is the word Paurohityam, which we were discussing in the last class. As it turns out, that word Paurohityam is the word Purohitaha, is specially mentioned by Panini in a particular sutram, right here in this Adhikaraha. says Patyanta Purohitadibhyo Yak. So please make the correction. I'm sorry about that. I should check this one. See, the reason I didn't check it because this Brahmana, these are Akriti Ganaha. So depending on the Shishta Prayogaha, we can use, Brahmana Ganaha. But what has happened is that Panini has a special sutram, Patyanta Purohitadibhyo Yak. Now the difference between the Pratyaya Shai and the Pratyaya Yak doesn't matter to us because either of them will do the Adi Vriddhi. In the case of Shai, it will be by 72117, Taditeshvacha Madehe. In the case of Yak, it will be by Kiticha, 72118. But in the Vaidika Prayogaha, there will be a difference in the Swaraha, the intonation. Of course, in this class, we don't talk about the Vaidika Swara Prakranam. So doesn't matter to us. So whether you apply Yak, whether you apply Shai, the form we will get is the same. Doesn't matter. The difference is because of the Kakara as an It and the Chavarga Panchama Nyakara as an It, there is Swara Bhedha. Not only that, if this happens to be used in the feminine, also there will be a Bhedha. We're going to see today the details because the Shid Gaura, the Vyashya Pratya, Nish will come in the feminine. Anyway, one more time, last time, so the mistake was this word Purohitaha. In fact, the Purohita Adi Ganaha is a Ganaha which is mentioned by Panini in 51128. The same Adhikaraha of the Bhavaha and Karmanicha. As I mentioned to you, from 51124 starts Karmanicha. So Bhave Karmanicha. One thing about this class I mentioned, as I say again and again, is keep the Ashtadhyayi always in front of your eyes. That is the Mula Shastram, that is Paninehe Uktihi. So, one thing which is almost like lacking nowadays is the Ashtadhyayi Patha. Because most people study Siddhantakam, which is nothing wrong with that, but we have to keep the Ashtadhyayi always. Because even Bhattoji Dikshitaha, the famous author of Siddhanta Kaumudi, first he wrote a commentary in the Ashtadhyayi first. I think it's called Shabda Kaustubha. Only after that he wrote a commentary. Of course, he wrote a Siddhanta Kaumudi. So all these people, they don't like, just study Siddhanta Kaumudi in the beginning, but of course now, because of a shortcut, people study only Lahu Siddhanta Kaumudi, but that's fine, but don't lose the Ashtadhyayi order. It's very, very important, very important. So from here, as we saw, the word Bhavaha was coming, Adhikara, Tasya Bhavastvatalav, and then Karmanicha came. So Pani has a special sutra which says Patyanta. So Pratipadikam ending in the word Pati. And Purohita Adibhyaha Yak. Patya Yak will come. Again, Yak and Shai, the form will be the same, except there will be Swarabhedaha in the Vedaha because of the Nyakara as an It and the Kakara as an It. Also, if it happens to be used in the feminine, then there will also be a difference in form. Okay, let us see how that happens. Firstly, let's correct the mistake from last time. So, Paurohityam is so Purohitasya Bhavaha Karmava. So, the status of a priest or it is the priestess in English, or priesthood, I should say. That's a good word. This English, in English, that is a Patya hood, right? That hood, that nescent, so priesthood. That is the Tadita Pratya in English, so priesthood. Or it is the profession or the occupation or the duty of a priest. So Paurohityam. So we used Patyanta Purohitadibhyo Yak. So that is the Purohitadibhyo Yak, especially given by Panini, Purohitadibhyo Yak. The steps will be the same as we did last time. Purohitasya Bhavaha Karmava. So Purohita plus Nyas, because remember the Adhikara is Tasya, the Shashtiyantam. So Purohita plus Nyas, Shashti Ekavachanam plus Pratyaya Yak. Anubandha Lopa Halantyam, as we discussed in the last few classes. Once you get the Pratyaya and the Artha, then Prakriyayam Klesho Nasti. There's no difficulty in getting the form, generally speaking. Tadita, that's the good news. So good news is that once we establish this form over here, then going from here to here is generally straightforward. So here we just do, halantyam tasya lopaha, then the samudaya gets the pratipadika sanya krutva samasascha supo dhatu pratipadika yoho. Then after that we will adi vriddhi by kiticha. Instead of using, if we had the pratyaya shai, we were using Tadhiteshvachamadehe 72118, 72117, that was Anuvritti of Niti was coming down from Macho Niti. But then this time we have to use Kiticha 72118, but the effect is the same. We see Vriddhyadeshaha Achamadehe. So among the vowels, that which is the first vowel in the Yangam, we take Vriddhi, so we can become Paurohita, and then Yachibham, Bhasanya, then Yasyeticha. These are two very common steps now we have seen many times. One more reminder is that when you add any Tadhita Pratyaya, the Angam has to get the Padasanya or the Bhasanya. If you get the Bhasanya, you have to call the subroutine of Bhasya, which is at the end of 6.4. If you get the Padasanya, you have to call the routine of Bhasya, Padasya, which starts from 8.116 onwards. So here the Bhasanya comes, then Yasya teacher says that Ivarnantasya Varnantasya Bhasya Lopo Bhoti Tadhite Ikare Chapare, so this Tadhita Pratyaya, and then Alontyasya, so we get this form. You understand why Pani said Yachibham, because when we are studying the Swadi Pratyaya, only Sup Pratyaya, there's no Yakare Pratyaya nasti, Supshu. So there's in the Sup, there is Supsu Yakare Pratyaya nasti. The Su, Aujas, etc. We want to get that term. Why say Yachibham? Why not say Achibham? Because in Tadhita, there are a number of pratyaya which are Yakaradi. So we have to use that. Okay, so that was Paurohitya. Similarly, Senayaha Patihi, Senapatihi, Shashti Samasaha. Shashti Samasa, Sutram is Shashti. This, of course, this is a Tatpurusha Samasa which we have studied, which is Sutram is Shashti. And then after that we get Senapatir Bhavaha Karmava Sainapatyam. Means it is again the commander. He is the commander of the army. So his status, all his duty, his occupation, his activity. Then Gruhapatir Bhavaha Karmava Garhapatyam. So really Garhapatyam means the activity, the duty of the master of the house, householder, you can say, or master of the house, Garhapatyam. Gruhapatir Bhavaha Garhapatyam. So now we have these forms. So this was the correction from last time. The one small note over here is that the words Adhipati, Dhanapati, Ganapati, Narapati, they will take the Pratyaya Shai only because they're specifically mentioned, Vishesh Vidhanam, in the Brahmanadi Ganaha. So even though this says Patyanta, but because the fact that these four, which is the Adhipati, Dhanapati, Ganapati, Narapati, they are mentioned Brahmanadi Ganaha. So they will take the Pratyaya Shai only. Okay, so this correction from last time is Paurohityam. It's derived using 51128 and not the Brahmanadi, which is the 51124. Okay, then what is, let's continue from last time now. So we are in this Prakaranam. We are in the book. We are on the page number 145. We are in this point number 210 right now. So we looked at the Pratyatva, which is of course Tasya Bhavastvatalav, Prabhutvam, lordship, Andhatvam, Rajatvam, royalty. The one thing, we also looked at the Sutram which says that Achatvat. So these Pratyas Tva and Tal, they come alongside, they don't get overruled by these Pratyas which are coming from 5121 up to down to 51135. So they also are used. So Tva and Tal are going to be optional forms in all these sutras from 51121 to 51135. Not only that, the fact, so this sutram Achatvat means up to the word Tva, which is Tva is prescribed in Brahmanastvaha. So we leave that one out, barring this last one. The remaining, all of these sutras from 51121 to 51135, the Tva and Tal will also be used. Okay, so there will not be an apavada for them. They will also be used because the adhikar of Achatvat. And one more thing is that, see, in this sutram, Tasya Bhavastvatalav, the Tva and Tal were prescribed only Bhave, not Karmani. Karmani Vidhanam Nasti Tasmin Tena Sutrena. But down here, when we get karmani cha, the same tva and tal will start also being used in karmani also. The point is that the adhikara achatvat say that these pratyayau tva and talau will be adhikritav. They'll be authorized to apply in all these up to 51135. But 51119 has tasya bhavaha. So it is only bhave, not karmani. But when the adhikara of karmani starts, the same tva and tal will now continue to be used in bhave and karmani, starting from 51124. So keep that achatvat in mind, achatvat. So basically, in all these rules from 51121 to 135, in the respective meanings, we are going to get the pratyas tva and tal. Okay, so that was the adhikara. So now let's go back. So this is the point number 1. Point number 2, this suffix form neuter nouns, because we saw last time the vachanam from the linganushāsanam. Linganushāsanam has told us that I think we saw it that so tvantam napumsakalinge, it says okay, tasya bhavastva talau is over here. And there we saw the lingan. Pani doesn't give this. In Ashtadhyayi, linga vicharaha is lokataha lingam, lokato lingam, which means that lingam is going to come from the usage in the language, not necessarily from, so that is based on the usage. So here we had tvantam klibam, talantam striyam, iti linganushāsanam. So when we say, gurutvam, lagutvam, mudhatvam, they will all be used in the neuter. We say guruta, laghuta, mudhata, all of these, chapalata. So these will all be used in the feminine. Of course, when using the feminine, we have to add the pratyaya top. So the top comes on top, as we say, by ajadyata top, 414. Always keep in mind that nothing can be used in the feminine in this language unless it is checked out by this section, which is striyam. And the first sutram is ajadyata shtap. So if we have the pratyaya tal, of course halantyam, we'll get lakar lop, halantyam tasya lopaha, then tasya ajadyata shtap. So you'll get guruta, mudhata, etc. words like that. Okay, so that's where we are in the book. Let's continue with so we are here on page, so we got the pratyatva, andhatvam, rajatvam, prabhutvam. So right now this is only talking in the sense of abstract nouns, but I think he's only meaning bhave, not karmani as yet. Okay, and then he jumps to imanich. Then the prior section we already saw the again abstract nouns, samasya bhavaha, samyam. So this in the book basically looks like the author is only talking about this section up to 51123. Varna dridadibhyashaicha. But from here on starts karmanicha. So if you want to use, well, let's look at these 3 rules right here now. Prithvadibhya imanijva, varna dridadibhyashaicha, which is 123, and guna vachana brahmanadibhya karmanicha. Okay, now what are these 3 doing over here? Prithvadibhya imanijva. So prithvadi ganaha, prithu adi, pradipshabdebhya, pradipatikebhya, imanijva vikalpena. In the meaning of tasya bhavaha. Because karmani has not started yet. Karmani only starts from here. So these 2 are only tasya bhavaha. Remember that. 51122, 123, only tasya bhavaha. It says imanijva bhavati. So imanij will now join as a third possibility following words prithu, etc. Why third possibility? Because we already had achatvat, we had tva and tal. Then comes imanij over here, imanij. So we'll have, let's take an example over here. Prithvadibhya imanijva. I think the best thing you can do is that keep on repeating the words of Panini. That's the shortest way to learn Vyakaranam. And then after that, repeat the words of the Siddhanta Kaumudi also. So here, let's look at this one here. Imanijva. Prithvadibhya imanijva. Looking at the number 51122, by now you should be able to tell we are in the adhikara of tasya bhavaha. Tasya bhavaha. So bhave pritvadibhya imanij tadhita pratyayo vasyat. He says vavachanam anadi samaveshartham. What is this anadi samaveshartham? Remember, we already saw this sutram in the prior page. In this book, he's organized this topic, because pratyyanusarena, not arthanusarena. He's taken it by pratyava pratyaya. So in the book, we already saw this sutram on the prior page, which was this one, the pratyaya an being used in 51130, 131. Shishor bhavaha shaishavam. So, surabhe bhavaha saurabham. So that is, we had it in the last page. So now what is happening is that, let's look at the sutram one more time. We already saw that, but to understand what this comment means, vavachanam anadi samaveshartham. Samavesha means to include also the an, etc. So basically what it means is that imanich will not overrule any other pratyaya which might be coming after these pratipadikam. So it means that we will include imanich along with anything else that might be coming. So far we have tva and tal, which of course is the adhikaraha going all the way down. And then if the word is in the prutvadi ganaha, pruthu adi ganaha, then imanich comes as a third pratyaya without overruling any further pratyaya that may come down here. So now we have seen the sutram. Let's take an example. Igantacha lagupurvat. Igantacha lagupurvat sutram which we have already studied. Igantacha lagupurvat. If you have a iganta pratipadikam, ik means I look, I u rul. Igantam pratipadikam. If you take the word pruthu itself, pruthu ends in ukaraha. It's an igantam pratipadikam. And laghu purvat, the prior vowel should be laghu. So pruthu, the rikara is laghu. Only sanyoge guru only we get. So pruthu will also qualify for this sutram, igantacha laghu purvat. So what is being said is that, so when we look at this one, pritvadibhya imanijva, that imanij will not overrule the pratyaya an. So now we get four. So if we take the pradipakam pruthu, we get four possibilities. We get pruthutvam, pruthuta, then we will get the word, we can derive this word right now, which is pratima, and we'll also get the word which is parthavam. So we get four possibilities. We get pratima, pruthutvam, pruthuta, and parthavam. So this one is of course by this Pritvadibhya imanijva. This one with tasya bhavastvatalav, same thing here. And this one is by igantacha lagupurvat. Okay, so that is 51131, which you saw in the prior page when we derived shaishavam, etc. So now what's happening here is that, so let me read the vritti one more time to you, is that bhave, again only bhave, because only from 51124 starts karmancha. Pritvadibhya imanich tadhita pratyayo vasyat, and vavachanam an adi samaveshartham. So for example, if the pratyaya an is going to be prescribed by this 51131, or any other pratyaya is going to be prescribed specifically following a word in the prithvadi ganaha, then that will also be allowed to apply. The imanich will not stop. For example, if a word is in the brahmanadi ganaha, then pratyaya shai will also come. So we'll have tva, tal, imanich, and shai. So whatever the case might be, the bottom line is that this imanich will not stop if further pratyaya coming, another pratyaya coming as a possibility. Okay, that's what is vavachanam. So vavachanam an adi samaveshartham. Why an adi? Because the word pruthu itself, as we just talked about it, is also can take the pratyaya an by igantacha lagupurvat. Of course, all of them will not take an, but some might take an, some might take shan, some might take something else. So the imanich will allow those to come also optionally. Okay. So that's what we are in the book right now. Let's stay with the book for a second. So we are now, anyway, so on the prior page we had studied this one, Igantach Lagu Purvat, in this 131, this one, Shishor Bhavaha, Shishu, Iganta and Lagu Purva, and Surabhi, Iganta Lagu Purva, we had same thing there. So here we are now in number 3 over here, 5 to, we are Imanich, the suffix for masculine nouns. Yes, this is used, Imanich is in the, is declined like Rajan Shabda. Like Rajan Shabda, it forms masculine nouns. Pullinge prayujyate. Declined like Rajan, and before Imanich, the final verb, we need to change that. It's a T bhaga, it's T lopa. Shouldn't say final word, it's a T lopa. Like if you take the word like Mahat, becomes Mahima. So Mahat becomes Mahima because of T lopa. I think last time we had given the homework, which was starting from this Turishthe me Yassu. Turishthe me Yassu. Now we are jumping to the Angasya Adhikara, which is the Ishtha, Imanich and Iyasun. When one of these pratyas follow, then these rules from 64155 up to 64163 will tell us to do something about the Angakarya. About the Angakarya, okay? So this is only Angakarya. Once the pratyaya comes, then only we can look at it. Now before we go there and start deriving these forms, which should be fairly straightforward, there are one or two special rules we have to look at. Let's go back again to this one about the Pritvadibhya Imanijva. The next sutram is Varna Dridadibhya Shaincha. Again, this is only Bhave. It's also only Bhave, Shaincha. So these will take the Pratyaya Shain also. See, Varna Vachaka Shabda. Varna means color. Like Shukla, Krishna, Rakta, all these are all colors. And then Dridadi Ganaha is again a Ganaha. These will, by the way, I got a nice file by Rama Surya ji. This one, we're going to use it in the class now. We got the Ganapatha I can show in the class. So if you look at these words, so Pritvadibhya Imanijva. Then the type is a little bit small on the screen, but Prithu, Mrudu, Mahat, Patu, Tanu, Lagu, Bahu, Sadhu, Ashu, Uru, Guru, Bahula, Khanda, Danda, Chanda, Akinchana, Bala, Hoda, Paka, Vatsa, Manda, Swadu, Rasva, Dirgha, Priya, Vrisha, Riju, Kshipra, Kshudra, Anu, Iti Pritvadiganaha. Then Varna Dridadibhya Shaincha, Dridha, Vridha, Parivridha, Brisha, Krisha, Vakra, Shukra, Chukra, Ambra, Krishta, Lavana, Tamra, Shita, Ushna, Jada, Badhira, Pandita, Madhura, Murkha, Mukha, Sthira. There are some Gana Sutras also here. And then, of course, we have the Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmanicha. And then there are some Chora, Dhurta, Aradhaya, Viradhaya, Aparadhaya, Uparadhaya, Ekabhava, Dvibhava, Tribhava, Anyabhava, and it goes on and so on. So it's a large Gana. And then, here we have Kushala, Chapala, Nipuna, Pishuna, Kutuhula, Kshetrajna, and all these words are here. It's Brahmana Adi Ganaha. Okay, so we can use this Gana part also. So we have this file over here. So now, Prithvadi we can use Imanij along with Tva and Tal. What's going to happen is that if it's the Varnavachaka Shabdaha or it's in the Dridadi Ganaha, then we can use Tva, Tal, Imanich and Shain. We can use that also. So fourth one will come here. And then if it's a Gunavachana means that it is a quality, not a verbal participle, but a intrinsic quality of somebody's quality. And then Brahmanadibhya Ganaha. Now we can use the same Pratyaya Shain, but Karmanicha, not Imanicha. Not Imanich, but we can use the Pratyaya Shain Karmanicha. So one more time. Prithvadi, we can use Imanich only Bhave. And Varnadridadibhya, we can use Imanich as well as Shain, only Bhave. And Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya, we can use the Pratyaya Shain only, not Imanich. So Imanich only is coming from 122, 123. 124 only pratyaya shai, and that will be but bhave and karmani. So one last time, Pritvadibhya, imanich, and of course tvatal bhave. In the varnadradibhya, we can use imanich, shai, tvatal, only bhave. Gunavachana brahmanadibhya, we can use only shai, but bhave and karmani. Okay, so now let's derive these forms. Let's go to our workbook and derive these forms. So let's look at this one first. Okay, so we looked at the sutram achatvat. So brahmanastvaha iti atah prak tva talav adhikriyete. We talked about that. So up to 51135 inclusive. This tva and tal can be used alongside with all the other pratyaya which have been prescribed. Not only that, from 51124 onward, they can be used karmani also. It says apavadaihi saha samaveshartham vidam and karmani cha vidhanartham gunavachana brahmanadibhya karmani iti. So from there on. And now pritvadibhya imanijva bhave pritvadibhya imanij tadita pratyo vasyat. We just talked about this vavachanam anadi samaveshartham. That an, because the prithu can take an also, igantachalaku purvat. Okay, let's now the sutram tehe. We'll be deriving this form now, which is pruthor bhavaha pratima. Pruthor bhavaha pratima. Prithu is large or wide, huge. So pratima is like wideness, largeness, size. So very, very big size. So pratima is largeness, wideness. So if you look at, let's see what apte gives, but it should be, the property of being large or wide. That's called pratima. So don't confuse pratima and pratima, by the way. Pratima is a feminine noun, like an image. But pratima is a pratiman pratipadikam. So here the pratibad is pratiman pratipadikam. So don't confuse these two, pratima and pratima. So breadth, greatness, magnitude. This is a word here. I think some girls have the name Pratima, and sometimes in South India they spell with a th, becomes Pratima. Then Pratima means like fatness, wideness. And Pratima means the image, image of the Lord, whatever it might be. So these two are completely different things. Of course, the Prajnapadam is Pratiman, so Pratima is a masculine, the declined form. But just to convert T to a TH makes a lot of difference. I don't think any girl will have a name Pratima. Is Pratima. Okay, well, unless, I guess, okay, anyway. So Pruthor Bhavaha Pratima. Let's derive these forms. So Pruthu plus Myas because Tasya Bhavas, so Shashtiyantam, Pratyay Imanij, Pruthvadibhya Imanijva. So we get this one. Now once you put Imanij, this does not have a Chavarga Panchama or a Chavarga Panchama or Kakarazanit. There will be no Adi Vriddhi in this case. So we just do the Anubandha Lopaha by Upadeshi Janunasika Salantyam. And then the Samudaya gets the Pradipadika Sanya, Kutrita Samasascha, and Supodhatu Pradipadikayoho. And now we apply a special sutram, which is 64161. For 161, it says Ra Ruto Halade Laghoho. Says that Ra Ruto Halade Laghoho. Says that Halade Laghor Rakarasya Rasya Ishteme Yasu. Ishteme Yasu. So, which means that this, we just talked about this Adhikaraha in the Angasya. Within the Angasya Adhikaraha, we have this section about Ishteme Yasu. Ishteme Yasu. That's talking about the Pratya Ishtan and Imanich and Iyasun. Now that Ishtan and Iyasun that don't come in, we're not talking about those because they come over here. This is Atishayane Tamab Ishtana, what we call in English superlative degree Ishtan, or the Iyasun in the comparative degree. So those are coming here. So, but this in the Angasya Dikaraha, there are some common operation which takes place. The Pratya following is Ishtan, Imanich, or Iyasun. Ishteme Yasu. Ishteme Yasu. And that was the homework which we had, which starts from 154. It goes up to over here. Prakrityaikach. So there we have this sutram which says that Ra Ruto Halade Laghoho. So if you have a Rukaraha, okay, if you have a Angam, this Angasyadikaraha, which is Haladihi, it has to be Haladi. And it has to have a Rukara which is Laghu. Laghu Rukaraha. So not a Guru. Then what happens? Then we get the Ra Adesha. The Ra is the Akara Sahita. Repha Adesha. So it will be Repha plus Akaraha, not just the Repha. So Ra, this is not Ucharanartham. The Adesha is Ra, Samudaya. So Repha Akaraha. When does that happen? When you have a Haladi Angam with a Laghu Rukara, then we get the Ra Adesha. So what happens? Halade Laghor Rukarasya Rasyad Ishteme Yasu Parataha. So, and there's a Parigananam Kartavya. Parigananam means these are the words: Pruthu, Mrudu, Bhrisha, Krisha, Dridha, Parivridhanam Evaratvam. So these are these words, which is one Pruthu, Mrudu, Bhrisha, Krisha, Dridha and Parivridha. Only 6 Shat Pradipadikani. Etebhya eva. Ishteme, so this comes the Ishteme Yasu Parataha. So Ete Sham eva. Ishteme Yasu Parataha Ra Adesha Bhavati. This Parigananam means they have listed out only these 6 terms come under the domain of this rule. Pruthu, Mrudu, Bhrisha, Krisha, Dridha, Parivridhanam Evaratvam. So now we can do this formula. So Pruthor Bhava Pratima. When we did the Anubandha Lopaha, when we did the Supluk, we have Pruthu plus Iman. Now Pruthu listed in this set of 6 words. So now we can replace the Rukaraha by the Ra Shabdaha. So we get Parathu Iman. Parathu Iman. The Adesha is not just the Repaha, but it is Ra Adesha, Repa plus Akaraha. And then comes the Sutram Tehe. Tehe. Sutram Tehe we have seen previously many times. Bahuvaram. Prayuktam Sutram Tehe. Tadanyat Sutram Vartate. That's another Sutram. That Sutram Tehe come Ditiparataha. Ditiparataha Bhasya Ter Lopaha. And that was 64143. Don't forget one more thing, we are in the Bhasyadhikara, first of all. The Bhasyadhikara. Let's not forget that when we add the Pratyaya Imanich, it's a Ajadi Pratyaya. So I should put this number here also. The Angam gets the Bhasanya by Yachibham. Yachibham. Never ever forget that. When you add a Tadita Pratyaya, you should always check 2 things. Is the Angam getting the Bhasanya or the Padasanya? Secondly, does the Tadita Pratyaya have the Chavarga Panchama, Tavarga Panchama or Kakara as an it? If it does, then we have to apply 72117 or 118 as the case may be and do Adivriddhi. But the Imanich does not have the Chavarga or Tavarga Panchama or Kakara. Itvena Navartate. It doesn't have it as an it. So, but it is Ajadi Pratyaya. Angam gets the Bhasanya. Now, this Sutram Tehe, so do not confuse Sutram Tehe Tehe. This Tehe is Diti Parataha. Bhasya Ter Lopaha. Okay? And this Sutram is Ishteme Yasu. Ter Lopaha. So these 2 are different things. So one more time, the Sutram Tehe 64143. Again Tehe 64155. The second Tehe Dvitiyam Paravarti Sutram Ishteme Yasu Eva Pravartate. It only comes when Ishtan, Imanich or Yasun follow. Because this you cannot use the prior Tehe. Because we are not talking Diti Parataha. We don't have do as an it. The Pratyaya Imanich does not have Dakar as an it. But we need the Sutram Tehe over here. Just to come so one more time, if you have the Pratyaya Ishtan, Imanich or Iyasun. Right now only Ishtan for us. I'm sorry, only Imanich for us, because the Ishtan and Iyasun come in a different meaning. We are looking at that meaning right now. So when Imanich follows, we're going to be using Sutram Tehe, means the T Bhaga Tes Lopaha. The coming over here. So Bhasya Ter Lopaha, Ishthe me Yassu. Ishthe me Yassu. So the other one, 64143, was Bhasya Ter Lopaha, Ditipare. Ditipare. And this is Ishthe me Yassu. So this is the two different things. Okay, so what do we have now? We did the Ra Adesha, then we got Parathu Iman, and then Tehe iti T Bhagasya, Ukarasya, Achavantyadi T. So the T Bhaga is Ukaraha, that takes Lopaha, and we get Pratiman Pratipadikam, declined like Rajan. So becomes Pratima as Prathama Ekavachanam. Surnamasthane Chasam Buddho, Upada Dirga, etc. We'll do, and Nakara will go by Nalapu Pratipadikanta. So we'll get Pratima. So now what we have four forms. Pratima by Prithvadibhya Imanijva. Then Prithutvam and Prithuta, of course, we'll get by Tasya Bhavastvatalav. And Parthavam by Igantachalakupurvat. We already derived in the prior page of the book, which is by Igantachalakupurvat. The steps are the same as Shaishavam. In the same way we derive Shaishavam, we have to get this one. We have to get Parthavam. Now in Shaishavam we used Or Gunaha. Now Or Gunaha, let's talk about that for a second. Now in Shaishavam or in Parthavam we used Or Gunaha. Now Or Gunaha is also in the Bhasyadhikaraha. It applies, when a Tadita Pratyaya follows. The Uvarnantasyangasya Gunadesho Vidiyate. Now why did we not use that Or Gunaha when we had the Imanish one? Because this is a specific sutram down here which only applies for Ishthe me Yassu. But Tadita Pratyayas include, of course, hundreds of Pratyayas. But this one, this Tehe says, only that if it is the Ishtha, Imanich and Yasun. Also, it's also Parakaryam. So when Ishthan, Imanich or Yasun are following, then Or Gunaha will be set aside and we'll use the sutram Tehe instead. Tehe will be used. Okay, so anyway, so we get these four forms. One is by Prithvadibhya Imanishva, and the next two are by Tasya Bhavastvatalav, and then we'll get Parthavam by Igantachalakupurvat, because as we talked about, the Imanish does not preclude, because it says Imanijva. Imanijva is what was said, so therefore the we can also use the Pratyaya and by Igantachalakupurvat. Okay, now let's derive the remaining forms in the book. So this one we got, let me see if I've covered everything so far. Achatvat, Shuklata. Okay, I think back here in the previous class when we derived the form Shuklata, whiteness, it's a Varna Vachaka Shabdaha. Varna means what? Varna Dridadibhya. We have to think about that sutram, Dridadibhya Shaicha. So now let's go back to the example of Shuklasya Bhavaha, Shuklata. We got derived Shuklata, we use a Pratyata because that's what we have in the book as an example. We'll also get Shuklatvam, we'll also get Shuklima, and then Shauklyam. Because of why? Because Varnavachaka Shabda says Shancha, means Imanijjapi Bhavati. So we'll get Imanij, we'll get Shai, and of course the Adhikara of Achatvat. So if it's a word denoting color or a word in Dridhadikanaha, they will take four of these. Tva, Tal, Imanij, because of Chakar Balena, and then Shai. So we'll have four forms. We'll give Shuklatvam, Shuklata, Shuklima, and Shauklyam. So any word which we have with denoting color, we'll get like that, this Shauklyam, because of the sutram Varna Dridadibhya Shaicha. Okay, let me see, did we get everything here? Okay, then one more thing is that we looked at the word Rajnyo Bhava Rajatvam, which is given in the book. But this word, so of course we get Rajata also. And this word Rajan is also in the Purohitadi Ganaha. 51128. Let's see if we can show that Gana in here. So 51128, the Purohitadi Ganaha. There's a type, it should be 51, not 15. Okay, but anyway. Purohita. So Patyanta Purohitadibhyo Yak. So Purohita Raja se means it is you should not say Raja se. You should not be in a samasaha. You should not be in a samasa. That's what that means. If you have Rajan, which is standing on his own, then we can use this pratyaya yak. So this is Raja se. Raja se means not in a samasa. So asamase vartamanam. Vartamanat Rajan Shabdat Yak Pratyo Vidhiyate. And remember, this number is now 51, is a typo here, 51128. So this should be Karmani also. So now, because last time we derived the form Rajatvam, but I want to mention that we'll also get the form Rajyam. Rajyam. So the very famous form Rajyam is Rajnyo Bhavaha Karmava. It is the duty, or it is the kingship or the duty of the king, the activity of a king. Also can be in, so it's bhava or karma. So thatness, so kingship, or can be in the duty of the king, or the activity of a king. So Rajan plus Miyas Pratyayak, because it is included in the Purohita Adi Ganaha. Raja se means that it should be not in samasa. And then the steps are straightforward. Halantyam, then Supluk as always, and then Yachibham, and then Nastadhite. Nastadhite. You know, we derived Suttam Nastadhite, which we used a few classes back. Nastadhite, we looked at that. Nastadhite. We had it way back. Nastadhite. Okay. Nastadhite. Where we have it? Now we have it. Nastadhite. Okay, Nastadhite. Nantasya vasya ter lopastadhite. So Nastadhite can be used. Okay. Now the one little complication here is that the sutram which says ye cha bhava karmano ho. So let's look at that one for a second. Yadav tadhite pare an prakritya syat. So the antam angam. This is also in the bhasya. You cut the number. This is also in the bhasya dikaraha. Which means that an antam angam will say prakritya. It will stay as it is. It will not go under any operation. Prakritya means it will be in its natural state. Then that would have stopped the nastadhite. Yes, because say if you have an antam, right now we have Rajan plus ya. So ye, but it says Yadav tadhite pare an prakritya syat. But natu bhava karmanoho. So if it's use sense of bhava or karma, then this sutram ye cha bhava karmanoho doesn't apply. It says abhava karmanoho. Ye cha. So 64168 would have blocked nastadhite. Because it says that yadav tadhite pare an prakritya syat. But natu bhava karmanoho. Tasma arthana pavartate. Because this yak we used in bhave karmani cha. So this is only bhava karmanoho. So that's why we get the form rajyam. So finally we get rajyam. Declare and neuter, it become rajyam. So one more time, in the previous class, I think in the book example, we had derived the form rajatva. But I just want to point out this word rajan is in the purohityadi ganaha, purohitadi ganaha. So we'll also get the form rajyam, sense of rajnyo bhavaha karmava rajyam. I'm just trying to see if you missed anything on the way back here. Okay, okay, this is an important point here. Now, let's talk about this pratyaya before we go ahead and finish the forms in the book. Let's look at mitrasya bhavaha karmava maitri. Now again, we're using the pratyaya shan. The question comes is that is shitkaranasya kim prayojanam atra? Yatohi ete shabdaha napumsakalinge eva vartante. Because these words are only going to be in the neuter, then what's the point of the murdhanya shakar as an it? The murdhanya shakar as an it will cause a difference in the feminine forms. Shid gauradibhyascha, nish pratyah, shid gauradibhyascha. As we have said many times, that nothing can be used in the feminine unless we have checked out this adhikara of striyam. And there is a special sutra which says shid gauradibhyascha. So if you have a don't forget we have adhikara of nya pratipadikat. If you have pratipadikam ending in a shid pratyaya, murdhanya shakara as an it, or if it's in the gauradiganaha, then pratyaya nish has to be used. Pratyaya nish has to be used. Like gauri. So gaura becomes gauri, of course, famous form. So that will be only in the feminine striyam. But if these words ending in pratyaya shai are used only in the neuter, then what's the point of having this shakar as an it? So that becomes like a nyapakam. That means that they may be used sometimes in the feminine. There's nothing, as far as sutram is concerned, nothing stopping them being used in the feminine. But the use in the language is such, these are all like, like all these words, like you have like naipunyam, chapalyam, these are all going to be, they are all used in the neuter. But saundaryam, whatever it might be. But there may be some which are used in the feminine. And if they use in the feminine, then we have to use shid gauradibhyascha. Shid gauradibhyascha. Let's take a word like mitrasya bhava karmava maitri. Maitri. Now maitri is not, to use a pratyaya shai, we have to think of these two rules, which is the varna dradibhyashai cha and gunavachana brahmanadibhya karmanicha. Okay, so I hope you understood these two by now, which we just went over that. So we can check the dradi. See, the brahmanad is akriti ganaha. But the dridadi gana is generally not akriti ganaha. So let's look at the dridadi ganaha. See if we can find there the word mitra. If not, we can go in the brahmanadi akriti gana. So dridha, vrudha, parivruddha, bhrisha, krisha, vakra, shukra, chukra, ambra, krishta, lavana, tamra, shita, ushna, jada, badhira, pandita, madhura. Madhura is there. Murkha, mukha, sthira. And then there is some Gana Sutras here. I don't think it is there. So we'll put in the Brahmanadi Ganaha. It says that. So it says Mitrasya Bhavaha Karma Va Maitri. It's in the feminine now. So now we have Mitra plus Nyas Tasya Bhavas Pratalos Pratyaya. Nyas comes here. And Pratyaya Shai is coming by this Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmanicha. That is Sutra which we just saw, which is 124, because that can be used in Bhave and Karmanicha. And when we go through the usual steps, Anubandha Lopaha, Vahalantyam Shaf Pratyasya, the Adi Shakara takes It Sanya Tasya Lopaha, and then Supluk as usual, then Adi Vriddhi, Chuditeshvacham Adehe, nothing special here. I'm sorry, there's a typo here, I'm sorry. Excuse me, there's a typo here. Because to use the 72117, we require the Chavarga Panchama or Tavarga Panchama as an It. So we get this one here. And then comes the Adivriddhi, then Bhasanya, Yachibham, Yasyeti Cha. And we get Maitriya. If you want to use the feminine though, then we have to use the Pratyaya Nish, which we just talked about. Shid Gauradibhyascha. So Shidbhyaha, Gauradibhyascha, Striyam Nish Pratyasyat. So rather than taking Ajadyata stop, Pratyaya Nish has to be used. So Maitriya plus Anubandha Lopaha, Lashakvatadite Halantyam, we get Maitriya plus E. Now of course again here also Angam gets the Bhasanya again, because remember that the Sri Pratyaha also in the Swadishu. It also included in the Swadishu. Ganyante Sri Pratyaha api. Not only the Sup Pratyas, not only the Tadita, but the Sri Pratyas also in the Swadi list. So there also Angam will get the Bhasanya again. So we get again Yasyeti, we get Maitya plus E, and now with a special sutra it says Halastadhitasya. Halaha uttarasya, look at the number 64150. When the bhasyadhikaraha. It's also right below, just 2 sutras below, yasyeticha. Now, I think that by looking at a sutram now, you should have a good idea of what the sutra might be talking about. It says yasyeticha, then surya tishyagastya matsyanam yaha upadhayaha. Upadha yakara takes lopaha. And then what we have is halastadhitasya, which says that halastadhitasya says that halaha uttarasya tadhita yakarasya upadabhutasya lopasyat iti pare. One more time, halaha uttarasya. So we have here, we have mai takara maitra, so mai takara repa yakaraha. So we have a this yakara came from tadhita pratyaya shai, which we just used back here. So halaha uttarasya, this is takara repa yakaraha. So yakara is a halaha uttaraha. So it's following a hal, which is repa in this case. Tadhita yakarasya, we just use the pratyaya shai we just used. So tadhita yakarasya upada bhutasya, because so alontyat pura upadha. So we get the it is the upadha, because the angam was maitriya, the penultimate letter was yakaraha. Lopasyad iti pare, so we have ikaraha iti pare, get the form maitri. So now that is why you understand why the pratyaya shai has the murdhanya shakaras in it, because kvachit lakshyanurodhena striyam rayujyante, they can be in the feminine depending on the usage. So one more time, we got mitrasya bhava krama maitri by this adipatya shai, we got maitriya, and then if it's a feminine usage, we get shid gaura adibhyascha the pratyaya nish anubandha lopaha, and yasyeticha. After that, halastadhitasya, halaha uttarasya, tadhita yakarasya, upada bhutasya, lopasyat iti pare. So you get maitri. Similarly, madhurasya bhavaha madhuri. So madhuri, I think some women have the name Madhuri, right? So Madhuri and Madhuryam. So Madhuryam, Madhuri. So if Madhuri is used in the feminine, so same thing, we'll get the same steps. So don't forget the sutram halastadhitasya. Halastadhitasya. So first of all, Shidgaura adibhyascha and halastadhitasya. So Madhura is in Dridhadiganaha. Dridhadiganaha. So here we have to use the, so this is not karmani, because dridhadigana is only 51123. So varna dridhadibhyashaicha, varna dridhadibhyashaicha, that's what we're using. So we get madhurasya bhavaha madhuri. See, all this is not in the book. I'm just giving you some, because today is the last day we will see adhikaraha. I don't want to record all these things. So this is way beyond what's in the book. In the book, it doesn't talk about these feminine forms, etc. So we are going beyond the book right now, but you have to understand why this mudanya shakara is an it. Doesn't make any sense. If we take only neuter forms, shit karanam vyartam syat, it will become useless. Okay, so that was one thing I didn't mention in the last class. Let's see. Okay, I think we can move on from now. Okay, now this brahmanadikanaha, I had the wrong example of the paurohityam. So I removed that because, as I said, this paurohityam is patyanta purohitadibhyo yak. So the brahmanadikanaha, we can have examples like this, It's akriti gana. There are many examples are possible. Jadasya bhava karmava jadyam. But the thing is that, so because Guna-vachana brahmanadibhya karmanicha. So Jadaha is somebody who is like lazy, inert, inactive. So Jadasya bhavaha karmava jadyam. But if you want to use only Jadasya bhavaha, you can also get Jadima, because Jada is also in the Dridhadiganaha. Remember, Dridhadiganaha is only bhave. So I keep pointing out to you all the time is that karmani only starts from 124. So the imanich which we are using, the imanich will not be karmani. The imanich will be only bhave. because the Gunavachana Brahmanadibhyasya Karmanicha, Anuvritti of only Shai comes, not Imanicha. So if you take the form Jadima, let's see if Jada is there. I think Jada and Moodha, I think they are in the Dridhadi Ganaha. Yeah, I see a Jada is there, it's here. And Moodha, Murkha, Drudha, Ruda Paribruda, Vrusha Krusha Bhaktra Shakra, Velavadatam, Rashita, Ushna, Bhatira, Madhuraka. I don't see Moodha over here, but it may be. She's Ganapata has a lot of part of everything. Let me just check Kashika quickly if I see Moodha by any chance. Dridha Paribruda, Vrusha Krusha, Madhura, Murkha, Mooka. Okay, I'm not seeing Moodha. Anyway, if we include in that in the Ganaha, let me just double check. Give me 1 second, please, because I thought that it may be. I saw some example of that. Let's see. Give me 1 second, okay? Let me see if we can use that. Maudhyam. So Brahmanadi is Akriti Ganaha. Okay, what? Let me change that. Let me make it Murkha just to be safe. So foolishness. So let me change that. So Murkhasya. Let me make it Murkhasya because I'm not seeing Murkha in that. So it just I don't want to waste time in the class. So Murkhasya Bhavakara. It's become Maurkhyam. 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 Oh yes. Yes, you have a question? Yes, sir.
Satish ji,
yes.
Madhuri and Madhuram, are they same or different pati are they used?
No, Madhura is only an adjective. So Madhura is not in the see. Madhura, in fact, interesting you mentioned that. Madhura, we're going to see in the next class.
Okay.
It is, yeah, I'll tell you the sutram over here. It is a ra pratyaya. In fact, let me give it homework for you. How about that? You can check this adhikara of tadasya asti asminiti matup. Okay, and you try to find a sutram here, which the pratyaya, which the madhura can be formed. Pratyaya ra can be used for this. Okay, I think it might be this one right here, 52107. So madhu is like honey, so one which has that honey. So that is different meaning. Tadasya asti asmin, so that in which there is honey is madhura.
No, in Shankaracharya's sloka, Adharam Madhuram.
Yeah, madhuram. Yeah, so madhuram is, so that is not in the sense of bhavaha.
It's not ness.
No.
Madhura,
Remember one thing, sir. That is that when you form these words, like madhuri or whatever you form, maudhyam, etc., or shauklyam, these are all nouns. They are not adjectives. We just talked about that. We said they are in the neuter or they are in the feminine. They can be emerged in masculine, but they will not qualify somebody else. Of course, something else can qualify. When you say adhuram, madhuram, right? Adhuram, madhuram.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That is qualified. That madhura. On the other hand, when you say a word like bhagavat or yogin, whatever it might be, in the next class, when you say, maybe today also we might see it. Those are adjectives.
Okay.
So there that madhura is an adjective qualifying somebody else, something else, that in which or that which has honey. It's basically sweet.
Yeah, Madhura, I saw in that Ganapata, I was looking at it.
Yeah, correct. So we can take the madhura and then make the form madhuri from that.
Okay.
So first we get madhura as an adjective. First we get madhu to add, we add the ra, we get madhura. And then after that we get madhurasya bhavaha madhuri. So now it becomes sweetness madhuri. And that is a noun. It's not an adjective, but madhura is an adjective. Okay, so we'll see it good. In fact, I'm glad the question came up because so these are nouns. Okay, deriving now, these are all nouns. They will not be qualifying something else. Something else can qualify them, but they cannot qualify. See, when we say something is used in the feminine or neutral mass, obviously they are going to be nouns. They're not going to be qualifiers. Otherwise, because the adjective is, it will go in all three genders. You know, visheshyanurodhena, as per the term, it's qualified. Anyway, let me just change this thing for a second. Let me just make it murkhasya bhava. So morkhyam or murkhima. So we get these two forms, morkhyam or murkhima. Murkhima. Okay. So anyway, so last time I had the wrong example here of the paurohityam. So let's take these instead. Jadasya bhava karmava jadyam. But if we sense of bhava only, we can also use jadima. So jadima can be used only bhave, while jadyam can be used bhava karmava. Why is that? Because gunavachana brahmanadibhya karmanicha. While the prior sutram, which is the varna dridadibhya shaicha, that's only bhave. So basically, remember one thing, imanich is not used karmani, it is only bhave. So jadima will not be karma, it will only be inertness. But jadyam could be the activity, somebody who's inert. So somebody who's like, inactive. It's a bit of a contradiction here now. It's the karma of somebody who does no karma. Anyway, you understand what I mean. So that jadyam could be, bhave karmanicha, while the jadima will only be bhave. See, murkhasya bhavaha karmava maurkyam is foolishness, or how if the activities of a fool, maurkyam. But murkhima will only be bhave, not karma. Okay, so keep that in mind. Then chorasya bhava karmava chauryam. Chauryam. Same thing, these are all brahmanadikanaha. Naipunyam. So nipunasya bhava karmava naipunyam. Ishwarasya bhava karmava aishwaryam. Astikasya bhava karmava astikyam. Astikyam. Jnanam vairagyam astikyam. Brahma karma svabhajam. Okay, good. I'm glad the Gita meter went off today a little bit late, but in fact here it is coming here. In fact, look at this. I just opened the page. It's on this page right here. It is here. Astikyam. This is the krupa of Sri Krishna's krupa. Jnanam vidyanam astikyam. Brahma karma svabhajam. So astikyam. So astikasya bhavaha karmava astikyam. Then swatantriyam. Swatantrasya bhavaha karmava swatantriyam. Alasyam. Alasasya. Alasaha. Laziness. Freedom. It can also mean karmani, the activity or the duty of one. Astikyam, the duty of someone who believes in God. Astikyam. Aishwaram. Okay, so I think that now covers. Okay, let's move forward now. We did all these. Okay, let's move forward. So we derived the form pratima. Now let us finish these other forms. I think we have one or two more rules. So we are down. I'm sorry to go back and forth, but in the book he has given some of the pratyas first before taking the twa and talsa to go back. Okay, let us now see the next form which we. So like we found, we get the form pratima, right? Pratiman. Similarly, if you go to the book now for a second, we will get the form mradima. Same thing. All of these are 64161 along with 64155. Which one more time is that ra rito halade lagoho. Ra rito halade lagoho, and also tehe in the adhikar of ishte me yasu. So now these form, just like we found pratima, similarly mrudor bhavaha be mradima. Again one more time, that imanich is not used karmani, because imanich is from 5.1, 122, 123. Karmani only starts from 124. Dridasya bhava dridhima. In all these places, the ruka is taking the ra adesha and then te lopaha. So krashima, krushasya bhava krashima, one who's thin. So vrishasya bhava vrishima, intense. So vrishima is intenseness. Mridima is of course softness, so tenderness, mridu. Drida is firmness, dridhima, krashima. So these are all because it is the sutram is a rukara. So halader, so it is like this. It is rito halader laghoho. Haladi angam, which is rikara, which is laghu, followed by ishteme yassu. So all these places rikara is there. We have haladi angam, and it is laghu rukara. There is no sanyoga fragment. Okay, so these pratima, mradima, dadima, krashima, brashima are all formed the same way, in the same way. Okay. Now moving along, now let's take the forms, and as I mentioned, we'll also have prututvam, prututa, and parthavam, because iganta chilagu purva, like shaishavam, will also have parthavam. Now let's look at the form which is the kshiprasya bhavaha kshepima. So kshipra is quick, so kshepima like quickness, kshepima. Here when we do our first step, kshiprasya bhavaha kshepima, because rasva kshipra kshudranam prithvaditvat, the prithvadi ganaha, prithvadibhya imanijva, then the prithvadi ganaha imanijva. So remember that if the word is in the dridhadi ganaha, it should be able to take both imanich and shai. So that is one thing maybe you can remember like this now. Is if the word is in the dridhadi ganaha, it should be capable of taking imanich as well as shai. Prithvadi ganaha take only imanich but not shai. Brahmanadi ganaha will not take imanich, will take shai, bhave and karmani. Okay, so these three, which is rasva, kshipra and kshudra, then the prithvadi ganaha. So they will take imanich, they will not take shai. So now we'll get kshiprasya bhavaha kshepima. So we get imanich, prithvadibhya imanijva, and then we get kshipra nyas anubandalopaha, upadeshijananasakai talantyam, then supluk 2471, and then comes a special sutram, which is 64156, stula dura yuva rasva kshipra kshudrana yanadiparam purvasya cha gunaha. Okay, one more time. Look at the number 64156. In the adhikara ishteme yassu. Ishteme yassu. So stula, dura, yuva, rasva, kshipra, and kshudra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Sharnam, Yanadiparam. So starting with the Yan up to the end, Yanadiparam. So from the Yan up to the end of the Angam, we'll take Lopaha, and then Purvasya cha Gunaha. The prior vowel will take Gunaha. Ishteme Yasu. Now let's understand one thing, that all of these will not take imanich. Remember, this sutram for these 6 words, 6 terms, is for Ishteme Yasu. Ishtan, imanich, and Yasun. Among these 6, only Rasva, Kshipra, and Kshudra, they are in the Prithvadi Ganaha, they will take imanich. The remaining will have application in Ishtan or Yasun, which we are not doing right now. They are the what we call the superlative degree and the comparative degree. So don't get confused here. We have 6 words in this sutram because they are applicable Ishteme Yassu. Among these 6, only 3 will take imanich because they are in the Prithvadi Ganaha. So what happens? Yanadi Param. So starting, so what we have here, we have Kshipra. Of course, Yan means Hayavaratlan. So Yavarala. So this Repa is the Yan. So starting with the Repa up to the end of the Angam, which is the Raka, Repa and the Akara. Repa Akaras. Repa Akara Yoho Lopaha. Yanadi Param. So start from the Yan Adi. So, and then go to the end of the Angam. So the Repa and the Akara take Lopaha. And Purvasya cha Gunaha. This Ikar has a Purva. Purvarti ach tasya gunadesha bhavati. So we become Kshepa. So one more time. Stula, Dura, Yuva, Rasva, Kshipra, Kshudranam, Yanadiparam means Lupyate. Anuvritti is coming down. Lupyate. Because if let's look at this, because we had the Anuvritti coming down over here. So this is 64156. 64156. 64156. So here is, I think, Anuvritti of Luk is coming down from here from 64153. Sixth form, Anuvanti of look is coming down here. So that is where the Yanadiparam lupyate, Yanadiparam lupyate, and Purvasya cha gunaha. The prior will take the gunadeshaha. Let me see. Lopo bhavati. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. Give me tehe tishthe me yasu. Just checking with anuvritti of the lopaha. I thought it was a look. I thought, okay, let me just double check that. Okay, give me 1 second. Because I thought the anuvritti of this, because Untachalagopurvat. Okay, tehe. Bhasya lopaha. Okay, I'm sorry. Lopa is from allopo naha. From there, lopa is coming. Lopa is from allopo naha. Allopo naha. So from all the way back here. Allopo naha was over here. So lopa is coming here. Allopo naha. Not from the look. So this is a lupyate. Not look. So allopo naha. Interesting. Because I thought allopo naha stopped at 145. They're taking the Manduka Pluti, I guess. Okay. I'm looking at says allopo naha. Okay. All right. Anyway, so it looks like allopo naha, from here lopa is being taken. So here what happens is that for these rasva, kshipra and kshudra, which can take imanich, you start with the end and go to the end. That will take lupyate. It will be dropped, and then purvasya cha gunaha. So here what happens is when we get sutram is sthula dura yuva rasva kshipra kshudranam yanadiparam purvasya cha gunaha. So we get repasya karasya lopaha, and then ikarasya gunadesha. We get kshepiman. Declare like Rajan, we get kshepima. So that's one here, kshepima. Similarly, we'll get the rasima, rasva. So the vakara akarayor lopaha. Vakara akarayor lopaha. Vakara akarayor lopaha. Vakara akarayor lopaha. Vakara akarayor. So vakara akarayor lopaha. And then after that we'll get, there's no guna adesha because we have only akara here preceding. So guna adesha has no effect here. But otherwise, vakara akarayor, vakara akar. This is a tongue twister. Vakara akarayor lopaha. So then we get rasima, and same thing we get kshodima. So here again, refa akarayor lopaha. And then ukarasya gunadesha, we get kshodima. So we get rasima, kshepima, and kshodima. We get these three forms. So that will be got. So in this case we have vakara akarayor lopaha, and in alumini cases we have repa akarayor lopaha. And then ikarasya gunadesha, ukarasya gunadesha. So that's in the book. In the book we have this word rasva becomes rasima. I'm sorry. Rasya becomes rasima. Rasya means tiny, small. So smallness. And now Mahat becomes Mahima. We just talked about that. Mahat becomes Mahima because of Tehe. Tehe ishte me yasyukter lopaha. We take Mahat plus Imanich. The At, which is the T bhaga, takes lopaha. We get Mahiman. Becomes Mahima as a declined form. And lastly, we need one more sutram to derive Prema, Garima, Drahima. That last sutram is here, and that is Priya Sthira Sphiroru Bahula Guru Vruddha Tripra Dirgha Vrindarakana Prastha Spha Var Bamhi Gar Varshi Trab Dragi Vrindaha. Okay, let's do one more time. Priya Sthira, Sphiroru, Sphira and Uru, Sphiroru, Bahula, Guru, Vruddha, Tripra, Dirgha, Vrindarakana, Prastha, Spha, Var, Bamhi, Gar, Varshi, Trabdraghi, Vrindaha. Means Priyadinam, Kramat, Yatha Sankhya Manudesha Samanam. So kramat, priyadi words take pradayah. So pra adi adeshaha syuhu ishthe me yassu. Let's take an example. And so priyoru bahula guru dirghanam prithvaditvat prema ityadi preme ityadi. So again, this is a common sutram for ishthe me yassu. Not all of them will take imanich. To take imanich, it has to be in one of those two ganas, either the prithvadi or the dridhadi gana. And dridhadi gana, it has to be able to take shain also. It will be dridhadi gana only if it can take also shain. So among these list of words, priya, sthira, sphira, uru, bahula, guru, vruddha, tripra, dirgha, vrindaraka. There are 10 of these. Out of these, only priya, uru, priya, uru, not uri, but uru. Uru means thigh, but the uru means thigh. So uru is a thigh, but uru kramaha, right? Vishnu uru kramaha. Uru means large or wide, large, wide. So uru, so priya, uru, bahula, guru, and dirgha. Then prithvadigana, they can take imanicha. So among these 10, which is priya, sthira, sphira, uru, bahula, guru, vruddha, tripra, dirgha, vrindaraka, the 5 of them, which is priya, uru, bahula, guru, and dirgha, then prithvadigana, they become prema ityadi. According to Nagesha, varshi, bamhi, dragishu, ikara, uchcharanartha itnagesha. So really it's only varsha, bamha, and drag. So this is ikara uchcharanartha. So priyascha bhava prema. So priya plus nyas plus imanich by prithvadibhya imanijva. Anubandha lopaha upadesha jananasikai thalantyam pradipadika sanya krityaja samasascha supodhata pradipadikayoho supluk. And now come this sutram which says that we get the pra adesha because of this sutram. Priya sthira sphiroru bahula guru vruddha pradirgha vrindarkanam prastha sphavarbamhi garvarshi trabdraghi vrindaha. So pra adesha. Now once you pra adesha we do, the question now comes that angam has the bhasanya. Now why not yachi? Of course angam has bhasanya by yachibham. Then why not yasya teacher? Because we said ivarnantasya avarnantasya bhasya lopa bhavati tadite ikare ch pare alontyasya akarasya lopaha praptaha. Now come this sutram which says prakritya ikach ishtadishu ekach prakritya syat. So this will stop the yasya teacher. So this no other operation can touch these, which is that ishthe me yassu ekach. Angam, which is ekach, is only one acha. Prakritya syat. So this is 6-4. In fact, this is the last sutram in the ishthe me yassu in that section. This is the last sutram in that section. This is, and prakritya anuvritti goes down to the following rules. So what happens here is that okay. Now, so this sutram says that ishtadishu ekach prakritya sat. So pra will stay as prakritya in its natural form. It will not take the akar lopaha by yasyati. So we get preman by ad gunaha. Preman. You get the form preman. So let me just put ad guna. I didn't put that number here. Ad gunaha. Ad gunaha. Of course, ad gunaha. And then decline like rajan. So that's what we have. So that's the that's the last form. Sorry, we took some long time here, but one more form. Okay, before we do this last form, let's go back to the book. So that completes the book now. So preman, pra adesha, guru becomes garima. Garima. So we get interesting things like, like again, some girls have the name Garima, Lagima. So this form actually is a masculine. This again goes to show that anyway, whatever. So Garima is actually a masculine form in the language, but sometimes women will have the name Garima also. So now Guru takes the Gar Adesha. Guru takes Gar Adesha and Dirgha takes the Draga Adesha. So Guru Shabdasya, so Guru Ityangasya Gar Adesha. Dirgha Ityangasya Draga Adesha. So because we had over here we had let's see, Priya Sthira Sphiroru Bahula Guru. So Guru took the Gar Adesha, and Dirgha took the Draghi. We just talked about that, the Ikara Uchcharanartha, so Dragha Adesha. So that's what we get we get the forms Garima, Dragima, and of course Prema. So that completes the book in this section. Now I just want to take one last sutram, Prasiddhatvat, before we go on to the next section, and that sutram is Sakyuryaha, because Pani is a special sutram which is to form the word Sakhyam. So Sakyuhu, by the way, Sakyuhu is the Panchami Ekvachanam, Shashtyanta Sakhi Pratipadikat Karmani Bhavecha. Look at the number 126. If it comes after 124, it will be Bhave Karmanicha, because Gunavachana Brahmana Adibhya Karmanicha. So Karmani. So if it's 126, it will be Bhave and Karmani both. So Karmani Bhavecha Tadito Yaf Pratyasya. Pratyaya is Ya. So Sakyur Bhavaha. By the way, in Sakyu is Khyatya Parasya. So this is the is Panchami Ekavachanam. Panchami Ekavachanam, and we are using the Sutram 61112. Maybe we won't do in the class now, but we have, if you want to practice your Subandha Prakriya, this is Khyatya Parasya. Khyatya Parasya. So it takes the Puraparayoho. No, sorry, not Puraparayoho, excuse me. Because Puraparayoho, it stops at 61111. This is not Puraparayoho. The 61111, which is Ruta Utta, that, so there stops the Puraparayoho. But the Anuvritti of Ut comes down. Ut comes down. So that says that Nyasi Nyasoriti Vartate. So Khyatyaaditi Khi Shabda Shabdayor, and then Ti Shabdayoscha Krutayanadesha Yor Idam Grahanam. So Sakyuhu. So Patyuhu Sakyuhu. Anyway, okay. So that Khyatyaat Parasya has been used to form the word Sakyuhu as Panchami Ekavachanam. So Shashtyanta Sakhi Pradipadikat Karmani Bhavesh Tadito Yaha Pratyasyat Sakyur Bhava Karmava Sakhyam. And again, once you get this straightforward, add the Pratyaya Ya. The Ya means there will be no Adivriddhi. It doesn't become Sakyam, it becomes Sakhyam. To get Adivriddhi by 72117, 72118, you have to have the Chavarga Panchama, Tavarga Panchama, or Kakara Nitya. We don't have that. So all we get is the usual Supluk, then Yachibham Yasyeticha, and then Sakhya. Okay, so Sakyur Bhavaha Karmava Sakhyam. Okay, now, so we saw Maitri and Sakhyam both. Now the next section, which is in the book, is we will start today. Probably won't finish today. We'll continue next time. And that section, if I can give you for homework, in fact, we just got the word Madhura. We looked at that. Now in the book, again, is given it quite short. I'll try to give you a good idea of the Adhikaraha. So in the book, we are only looked at the Pratyaya Vini and the Ini and Matup and Vatup is all what is given in the book. In the book, only we have Vini, Ini, and Matup. And in the next page of the book, he talks about some things, but doesn't give any pratyas. So this is a section, this is a larger section, okay? Because section we just finished with the Tasya Bhavaha, and then of course Karmanicha below. That's from 51119. I think it had what, about 38 rules. 38 rules. But now we are going to have a little larger section, which is from 5 to, I'm sorry, no, excuse me. Not 38, 18 rules, I'm saying, not because 19 to 36, only 18 rules. Only 18 rules it has. No, that's only, it's not that last. So these are only 18 rules. Now we're going to see a larger section, which is a very important section, which is the Tadasya Asti Asmin Iti Matu. So Tad Asya Asti Asmin Iti Matu. So these pratyas give the sense of one who has that, or in him that can be, that exists, that can be found, or him or it in that thing, in that person or thing. If it's a person or something which has that, or in that person or thing, this thing can be found. In the like Bhag, of course, the famous form is Bhagavat, Shrimat, etc. All these are formed like that. So this Adhikara, if you can take from homework, please. Next time we'll finish the Adhikara next time. We start today. is from 5294 up to 52140. Okay, 52140. Again, the book has given very few. I'll try to give you one or two more just to give an idea. But okay, let us start. This Adhikara says that. So one more time, 5294. Apada samapte. The reason is that if you know the Adhikara, if you see a form which is being used in this meaning, you know where to come in the Ashtadhyayi. So we have covered two very important Adhikaras. Tasya bhavaha and karmancha after that, and then tadasya asti asminati matup. These are very, very common usages. So please keep these numbers in mind. 51119 should be branded on your brain now. 51119 tasya bhavastvatalo up to the end of 51, and then 5294. Keep these two numbers in mind. So 5294 up to the end of 5.2. Okay, let's start today. We'll finish next time. Says that so prathamantat pratipadikhat asya asti ityarthe asmin asti ityarthe va tadita sanyaha matu pratyaya syat. Prathamanta, because tad prathamanta. So following a pratipadikam, which is after which the prathama has been used, prathamantat, which ends in the prathama vibhakti, pratipadikhat asya asti. So it is one who has that. Asmin asti ityartheva, or in him or in that this thing is there. So it is one who possesses that, or in him that thing is there, it exists in him or in that. Tadita sanyaha matu pratyasya. What tadita sanyaha? Tadita adhikara, again let's remind ourselves, is from 4176 to end of chapter 5. So both these sections which we have seen today in Tadita Adhikara. So let us see. Now there comes the iti shabdaha vishaya vishesha labhartaha. That iti in the sutram. The iti was not really required, is it? Tadasya asti asmin. You can say matup. Yet iti shabdaha brings with some special connotations. It brings some special connotations with it. And what are special connotations? Vishaya vishesha labhartaha. It adds some extra extra meaning, extra conditions, or you know, some over it sets some other tone to the section. What is that? Is that we get something more special from that iti shabdaha. What is the speciality? Is that bhumaninda prashamsasu. This is not a sutram. This is just, you know, all from the Mahabhashyam. Bhumaninda prashamsasu nitya yoge tishayane samsargye sti vivakshayam bhavanti matupadayah. So matupadayah means the pratyas, the pratyaya matup, not only matup, but in the sense of matup, which goes from 5294 to end of 5.2. Now these are used in the special connotations, and so says that asti vivakshayam ye matupadayaha vidiyante te bhumadishu vishayeshu bhavanti iti vartikarthaha. Even though Suttam says asti, it doesn't. We'll take some examples shortly, but they convey these special meanings. Okay, which is bhuma. I think it's, I'm sorry, I think I will typo. Excuse me, give me 1 second. I think I will typo here. Okay, 1 second. I think it is bhuma, not bhumi. I'm sorry. Bhumaninda. Bhumaninda. Let me just double check that. It should be, yeah, Bhumaninda. Excuse me, there's a typo here. If you see any typo, let me know, please. So Bhuma. Okay. So Bhumaninda. So Bhuman means large, or multitude. Multitude, many. Bhuman pratipadikam. So Bhuma. Ninda. Okay. Ninda. And then, in fact, you know what? I thought we just close this section. We can form the pratipadikam Bhuman. Okay. Let's go back for a second. Okay. Let's go back for 1 second. Okay. And just because we just did this section and we just got the form movement. This is not in the book. I'm trying to, you know, not spend too much time on this section, but we just did this word. Let us look at the word bhuman. So bhuman. Okay, let's look at the word bhuman. Now this pratyaya is imanich. Pratyaya is imanich. So in the same section which we were just looking at just now, It says bahor lopo bhucha bahoho. So actually, I'm sorry, I gave a wrong thing. So let's look at the word bhuman. If we take bahu, so bahor lopaha bhucha bahoho. So now what at 64158 is saying is that let's look at the vritti. Let me try to find it for you. To form the word bhuman, we're taking the word bahu and adding the imanich pratipadikam. In fact, the word, I'm sorry to go back to this again, but let us look, because we just saw the word bhuman just now. Let's see if bahu is one of these ganas. Yeah, bahu is there. Okay. Prutvadibhya imanichva, the word bahu is there. The word bahu is there. So let's take bahu and add pratyaya imanich, and let's apply 64158. Okay, 64158. Let's see what 64158 says. That should get us a form for us. 64158. So that's why I'm saying, if you know the adhikara well, you don't have to memorize each sutram. You can quickly look at it. So it says bahor lopo bhucha bahoho. Says that. So bahoho parayor ime yasor lopaha syad bahoshcha bhuradesha sad bhuma. So following the angam bahu, the imanich and iyasun, so ime yasor lopaha, which means that adef parasya, the ikara of imanich will take lopaha, and then the bahu takes the bhu adesha. It does two things. One more time. Bahoho parayor. It says ime yasor lopaha. And syad bahoshcha bhuradesha. We get the form bhuman. So what happens is that when we take bahu plus imanich, then what happens is that we the ikara of imanich takes lopaha by adef parasya, and that bahu takes the bhu adesha by bhu adesha. So we take bahor bhavaha. It's not bhumna bhava, bahor bhavaha is bhuma. So then we take the ikara takes lopaha by adef parasya. So let me just put these numbers here. So bhuman, this one is 64158. Bahor lopo bhucha bahoho. So bahoho is first panchami ekvachanam, and then bahoho is shashti ekvachanam in the same sutram. It says because bahoho parayor. That's this baho is panchami ekvachanam, following the angam bahu, and bahoshcha, so bahu shabdasya sthane bhuradeshaha. Okay, let me just put this in the sutram. So okay, I won't put all the steps because it's kind of straightforward. I'll just put this one here. One last one. I thought we were done with that, but we just saw the word right now. So bahor bhavaha is bhuma. I think it comes in the Chandogya, right? I think bhuma eva satyam. Only that which is bhuma is like large, wide, or plenty. Means I think the Brahma eva satyam, bhuma eva satyam. I think comes in. I think Chandogya has that. Okay, so this is in the dridha we just saw in the Ganapatha. This word bahu is in the Pritva Imanijva. So 5-1. I just put the numbers like that here. The steps are straightforward. 5-1, 122, and then 6-4, 158, and also use Adef Parasya, which is 1-1, 154. So 154. So when you look at any Adesha, you have to do, as I always mention to you, you have to look at these 4 rules. We have to look at these 4 rules, which is 6-4, 158. Correct. Let me just put this vritti also there. Let me put this sutram there, this one, and then put the vritti. I'm sorry, and then come and take the vritti also. Okay, so 6-4, 158. This is 6-4, 158. Put the vritti also over there. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so bahoho parayor ime yasor lopaha syad bahoshcha bhuradeshaha. Okay, so let me put that over here. Okay, Let me just put that. I was not planning on taking this one, but we can take it since you just came. So it is Bahor Bhavaha, which is Bhuma. Okay, let me put that one here like this, and then put this one. Now, when we do any kind of Adesha, should look at this Sutra Chatushtayam, which is Alontyasya, Nitya, Adef Parasya, and Anekachis Sarvasya. This has Bahoho. In the Panchami Ekvachanam, we use Adef Parasya. Only the Ikara of Imanich got it. So these are these four rules which I always point to. These rules, four rules. Adesha Vishaye Sutra Chatushtayam Sada Smartavyam. Always think of these four rules. Adef Parasya is over here. So Bahoho is Panchami Ekvachanam. Okay. Coming back now again. Okay. Coming down. So you see how these words are so useful. They come a lot of places. So Bhumaninda, so Bhuman, the Ninda means as a censure. Prashamsa, so as a praise. This is very, very, very common. Prashamsayam matuppa. You see in the commentary many times. Prashamsayam matuppa. For example, I think the example I like to give is Hanuman. No, Hanuman, not everybody is Hanuman. If you just say, Hanuhu asyastiti Hanuman, then, Sarve vayam Hanumantah Syama. We'll all be Hanumans. But it says Prashasta Hanuhu. So, which is praiseworthy, special, one with a special jaw. Of course, you all know the story. So, special jaw. So, he is Hanuman, not just anybody Hanuman. And other kinds of things. The Nitya Yoga, when it always has that. Atishayane has it in large measure. I think Atishayane is like a large size measure. But this Bhuman is like a multitude. Then Samsarge, always in contact with that. Then Asti Vivakshayam Bhavanti Mutupadaya. Let's take some examples, okay? This is by the Iti Shabda. So it is that Iti Shabdo Vishesha Labhartaha. Okay. So let's take Bhumni, Bahutve means multitude. So Bhavyo Gavaha, Santyasya Goman. If somebody we'll derive all these forms shortly. So don't worry about the form right now. Understand the meaning. We're going to derive all these forms in this class or next class. So now, if somebody has one or two cows, he's not called Goman. He doesn't become Goman. So, he's not, if somebody only has plenty, of course, the idea of plenty or many is relative. If somebody has 50 cows, he'll be called Goman. But if a king has even 100 cows, he may not be Goman. It's related to his status. But anyway, barring that complication, generally, if somebody has many of those, then only he'll be Goman. So, Bahudhanam asya stiti dhanavan. So, one who has a lot of money, dhanavan. Not who has, just little money, dhanavan. Then Bahuni dvarani santyasyaha dvaravati puri. So Dvaravati, if you have one door, if a city has one door, it doesn't become Dvaravati. But Dvaravati means it has many doors, is Dvaravati puri. So this is Bhumni, Bahutve, multitude, many of them. Then comes Nindayam Kushthi Purushaha. Kushtha. Kushtha like a disease. Kushtha is a disease. Let's look it up. I think like a leprosy. So Kushthi. So one who has Kushtha is Kushthi. Again, don't worry about the form right now. The pratyaya which is coming ini will derive that form. So here Kushtha means Kushtham. Leprosy. Okay. So it's the sense of censure. It's you're putting somebody down, kind of censuring somebody, criticizing somebody. So Kushthi Purushaha. So then comes Prashamsayam. This is very important. Among all of these, well, I shouldn't say all of these. Prashamsayam Matuppa. You see this word used a lot of times. So Prashastam Rupam Asti Asya Rupavan. Somebody who is handsome. Now, if somebody has any kind of form, he's not Rupavan. Somebody has a good form, a handsome form is called handsome. So Prashamsayam. So Prashastaha Acharyo Asti Asya iti Acharyavan. I think it's also Chandogya Upanishad. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. This is a Veda Vakyam, which means that one who has a Acharya. No, not any Acharya. This is the Prashamsaya Matup. Prashastha Acharyasya asti asya Acharyavan. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. One who has a good teacher, he understands. He has correct knowledge. One who has a good teacher. So praiseworthy. Prashamsa is praiseworthy. So prashasta acharyo astyasya acharyavan. So here it is prashamsaya matup. Remember this prashamsaya matup, please. It's used a lot. So what it means is that the word iti in the sutram, tadasya astyasminniti matup, that iti brings with it these extra connotations. Okay? So that is prashamsaya. Nitya yoge. Nityam kantakani santyasya kantaki dramaha. So it's a thorny tree. It has thorns all the time. All the time it has thorns on it. Not like it has sometimes it doesn't have. So nitya yoga. So if it doesn't have thorns all the time, you won't call it a kantak. So kantaki dramaha. So nityam kantakani santyasya kantaki dramaha. Then atishayane adhikya, in excess, size. It is in something in excess. So I'm sorry. This is a typo here. One second. Atishaitam udaram astyasyaha udarini kanya. So she is a girl who has a large stomach. Of course, every girl has a stomach. So you shouldn't say udarini kanya. But he says that atishaitam udaram astyasyaha udarini kanya. Udarini kanya. So this is the pratyaya ini, which we'll see very shortly. So udarini kanya means not any girl who has a stomach, but one who has a large stomach. Udarini kanya. And then samsarge means constantly in contact with her, in contact. So sambandhe sanyoge. So dando asti asyati dandi. Somebody who carries a staff with him all the time. If you leave the dandam at home and you go out without the dandam, you will not be called dandi anymore. Like chatram asya astiti chatri, upadhyayaha, chatri. So this teacher always comes with the umbrella. So he is holding it in his hand all the time. Doesn't mean you have umbrella at home. You will not be called chatri. You have to be in contact with the umbrella or the stick. That is called dandi or chatri. So samsarge. So even if you have a dandam, if it's not in contact with you, then you don't get the meaning of dandi or chatri. So these are 6 meanings, okay? So these are extra meanings from the iti in the sutram. Bhumni, like Goman. Nindayam, like Kushti Purushaha. Prashamsayam, very important. Rupavan Acharyavan. Nitya Yoge Kantaki Dramaha. Atishayane Udarini Kanya. And Samsarge, Sambandhe Sanyoge, Dandi Yatva Shatri Purushaha. Upadhyayaha. Okay. Now let's derive the form now. Gavo asya santiti goman raja. Atva gavo asmin santiti goman pradeshaha. Now these are adjectives. We just touched on that issue earlier in the class today. Unlike the prior section which create nouns, these creates adjectives. Look at the meaning. From the meaning itself, you can guess that it is one who possesses, in this case cows, or one, in this case country or region in which cows are there. So clearly it is an adjective to that region or that raja, who it might be. Pradeshatva, Pradeshasyatva Rajnyaha Visheshanamidam. In the prior section, we had thatness, that hood. But that is not qualifying anybody else. Those are adjectives. We say Bhuma, Saundaryam, Karpanyam, all these are, in fact, in Bhagavad Gita, I should have mentioned that, this Klaibyam Kasmagam of Partha. Naitatvayapapadyate, Klaibyam, Klibasya Bhavaha, Klaibyam. If it's the Brahmana Adiganaha onwards, it will also be Klibasya Karma Va Klaibyam. So, okay. So these are adjectives. So Gavo Asya Santiti Goman. Why are we getting 2 meanings? Asya and Asmin. Okay? Asya and Asmin. Because Sutram says, it said that Tadasya Asti Asmin iti Matuppa. So we can take both those cases. Now, doesn't have to be, Asti doesn't have to mean only Ekavachanam. Okay? It can mean Bahochanam also. So Asmin iti Matuppa. So So here we have, so that tad also doesn't have to be ekavachanam. It says gavaha asya santi. Santi ti goman. So now let us look at the form. So now we said that tadasya, tad is prathamantam. In this case it is bahuvachanam, so go plus jas. So this is the bhumni, one who has many cows. And the pratyaya matup, tadasya asti asminiti matup. 294. Once you get this, is now straightforward. Nothing special. Alubandha lopaha upadeshe janu nasika it. Alantyam, then supluk as usual. Because this gets the pratipadik sanya krit tadita samasascha. Taditant gets the taditantam gets the pratipadik sanya. And then supodhatu pratipadikayoho. So kritya samasascha supodhatu pratipadikayoho. So gomat. We decline gomat. If we decline like bhagavat, we won't go through all the steps in the class, because this should be known. If you practice these, go on the website and practice. So here we add the pratyaya su anubandha lopaha. Then we get atvasantasya chadhatoh. This is from Anuji's adhikaraha. Upada dirgha. Atvasantasya chadhatoh. So atvantam. And so we get the upada dirgha gomat. And then we apply the ubidacham savarnamasthane dhatoh. The comment here is that this ubidacham savarnamasthane dhato num is a nitya karyam, it's also parakaryam. But then what will happen is that if we apply 7170 first, we will never get a chance to apply atvasantasya chadhatu in the sense of atu. This atu will become useless. The atu grahanam vyartham syat. Because any atu means it's a ugit. It has to be ugit. Then we can always apply udacham savarnamasthane dhatu to num agamaha. Once we get the num, the upadha is nakara. So that is why, in spite of the fact that the udacham savarnamasthane dhatu ki num agamaha, nitya karyam parakaryam cha tathapi atvasantasya cha dhatu iti puram pravartate. Vachana samarthya puram pravartate. Vachana samarthya. Anyatha atu grahanam vyartham syat. Atu will be useless. Atu means you're going to get num all the time. And num means you'll never have the upadha as we'll get upadha will be nakara all the time then. So that's why we apply 6414. This has all been done on the daily examples many times. So 6414 and then 7170 num. And of course then after that we do anubandha lopaha, then the halnyabhyo dirgha sutisya vruktam hal sakar lopaha. Then we get pratyay lope pratyay lakshanam suptingantam padam, and then sanyogantasya lopaha. And after that we cannot use no lopa pratipadikantasya because of purvasya siddham. It's just like declaring like bhagavat pratipadikam. So again, if you want to practice these rules, you can look up the website for practice. We've done this many times, so we won't go into. So just decline like bhagavat becomes goman. Okay. Now in the feminine, what happens is that we get ugitascha, because if a pratipadikam ends in a pratyaya which has uk as an it. Right now we have matup, that ukara is an it in matup. So ugitascha we use pratyaya nip, becomes gomati. So somebody who has, or some in some thing or in some place where a lot of cows are there, gomati. So gomati. So it is like if it's qualifying something feminine, become gomati. So it's like gomati, I think name of a nadi also might be, So in that river, means around that river, there may be a lot of cows. So gomati. Okay. And then of course go has other meanings also, by the way, not only cows. But anyway, whichever meaning you want to take. So gomati, if it's feminine, by ugitascha, it will be take pratyanyip. Now what happens is that we are in the book right now. I know time is running out for us, but he's talking about changing the makara of matup to a vakara. And there we have these couple of rules over here. We have the 8 to 9. Let's look at these two rules right now. 8 to 9, 8 to 10. Madupadhayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. Madupadhayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. Any new Parani Sutram, repeat it as many times as you can until you understand it well. until you're no longer afraid of it. It says ma varnan ma varna varnantat. So ma varna avarnantat. Ma varna varnantat. Ma varna varnopadhacha. So ma varna avarna upadhacha. Ma varna varnopadhacha. Yavadi varjitat parasya. Mator masya vaha. Okay. So pratyam matup. If it follows a ma, makara or a avarna, or if it follows a term which has the makara or avarna in upadha, then that makara of matup takes the vakara deshaha. But if it's in the yavadi ganaha, if it's a word in the yavadi, yava means barley, it will become, so that will not, this rule will not apply. So if the yavadi ganaha's rule doesn't apply, there it will feel that makara will stay as makara only. So if you see a word in which the mator makarasya vakara deshaha na drishyate, tarhi yavadishu pachyate iti nyatavyam. So it is in the yavadi ganaha. So yavadi ganaha will not be subject to this rule. So we get the form yavaman. So yavaman only become yavaman. Okay, let's take an example here. The makara of matup changes to a vakara. It follows a pratipadikam, because see, when you say matup, it only must be a pratipadikam only because matup with tadita pratyaya. So nya pratipadika for the pratipadikam. We are not in the angasyadikara. This is not in the angasyadikara. It's talking about matup following, which means the angam is going to be a pratipadikam. So follows a pratipadikam other than one in the yavadi ganaha, that either ends in a makaraha or avarnaha, means akara or akaraha, or the penultimate upada is a makara or avarnaha. And what happens is that it takes a vakara deshaha. This is an example. This is an example where the pratipadikam ends in the makara is shamvan, sham. So what sham means, like happiness, peace, prosperity, sham. So one who has shamvan, shanchamema yashchame, right? So one who has happiness in large measure. So shamvan. So sham, because this is makaranta pratipadikam, becomes shamvan, not shamman. Then if you take in avarnaha, there are plenty of them like gunavan, balavan, vidyavan, malavan. All of these places we have the avarnanta pratipadikam. In this case, akarantam, gunavan, balavan, and here in vidyavan, malavan, it is akarantam. In any case, it's avarnantam. With rasvakara or dirgha akara, it's avarnaha. So one who has good qualities, so prashastaha gunaha santyasya atva asmin iti gunavan. Then balavan, same thing over here, one who's very strong, not who has just any strength. So vidyavan, same thing, one who's very intelligent. Malavan, one who has many. So bhavyaha malaha santyasya is prashasta mala astyasya itiva malavan. So here we get this is avarnanta pratipadikam. And then with the pratipadikam has makara upadha. My example, my favorite example is prasiddha udharanam is Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram Lakshmivan Samitinja. Lakshmivan, one who has Lakshmi, of course Vishnu has Lakshmi all the time. We can say, we can use that in any of these meanings. In any of these meanings, we can say he's with Lakshmi all the time. He has, we has Atishayane, Samsarge, Nitya Yoge, lot of these meanings. Prashamsayam, except Nindayam. I think we can use that one. So this is in the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. We have this word Lakshmivan Samitinja. If you chant Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. So here, okay. So this is what we have is Lakshmi, because here Lakshmi, the makara is the upadha. And where the avarna is upadha, is like Yashaswan, Bhaswan, Tapaswan, Yashaswan. So Yashas, that akara is the penultimate letter. So Bhaswan, we have the akara, Bhas like a luster, comes in Gita, Yadi Bhas Sadrishi Sasyad, Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. So bhasi like brilliance. So one who has brilliance in large measure. Bhaswan, yashaswan. Here we have the rasvakaraha as the upadha. Here we have dirgha akaraha. In any case, avarnaha, both are avarna as upadha. If we take this example, we get yashas plus matup when we add. Of course, anubandha lopaha. And then we get the supluk, supodhatu pratipadikayoho. Now what happens is that the question, why do we get the form yashaswan and not yashovan? Why yashaswan and not yashovan? Because the angam should have the bhasanya, shouldn't it? Because tadit, swadishvasarnamasthane padasanya, and then yachibham. This is not a yakaradi pratyaya, it's not a ajadi pratyaya. Remember one thing, this sutram 829, as you can see, of course, is in the tripadi section. This sutram 829, which is madhupadhayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha, this is a tripadi karyam. This has to wait until everything in the Sapal Saptadhya has been done. So while we are discussing this padasanya, bhasanya, we cannot do the vakara. It doesn't matter whether vakara is done or not, regardless. It is not a yakaradi pratyaya or ajadi pratyaya. But in any case, that 829 has to wait. But there's a special sutram. It says tasau matvarthe. Tantas santo. Right? See, because yachibham is 1-4. See, Swadishvasudhamasthana is 1-4-17. Yachibham is 1-4-18. Anurti of bham comes from here. Tasau matvarthe. Tantas santo. Bhasanyostaha matvarthe pratyaya pare. Takaranta or sakaranta shabda rupam. It is followed by a pratyaya which is in the sense of matvarthe, sense of matup. Then it doesn't get the padasanya, it gets the bhasanya. So a term ending in takara or maka or sakara, takara or sakaraha, gets the bhasanya followed by a pratyaya in the meaning of matup. So here yashas does not get the padasanya. Tasau matvarthe, tasau matvarthe. So this is right below yachibham. So yachibham is not the only sutram with the bhasanya, but this is also a sutram with bhasanya, which says that tasau matvarthe tantas santo bhasanyostaha bhasanyosto matvarthe patte pare. So yashas gets the bhasanyas. We cannot use sisrisho, ruhu and all that because that requires padasanya. So we get yashasvat. Okay, let's stop with that. We'll look at this sutram next time, which is Jayaha. This is also another sutram where the makara of matup becomes matup. Jayantan matup. The pradipatikam ends in Jai letter. Same thing happens. And for homework, we'll take this for homework, 5-121. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Pratyaya vinihi is in the book here. We take it for homework, the pratyaya vini. This 5-1. In fact, this entire section you can kind of scan to that 5-94 to end of 5-2. But in the book is taken 5-121. Asmaya medha sajo vini. In the word like mayavin, medhavin, etc. And then if you want to take for homework ata ini thanau, like balin, dandin, ata ini thanau. This is what is taken in the book. I'll give you one more for homework, which is not in the book. And that is the one which is vriyadibhyascha, vriyadibhyascha. And actually this is also we can take from the book, the pratyaya, inithanau. That's fine. This also we can correct with the book. But take one more, this one, 5-127, arshadibhyo ach. This is not in the book. So I'll take some more maybe in the class next time, but at least take this one for homework, arshadibhyo ach. Okay, let's stop with that. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Mano Rame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana Om Nama Iti.